Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another weather forecast. Sorry, I have not been uploading today, or sorry, in the past. But in this video, we have a lot to talk about, and I will start uploading more. I will try to, because I've just been super busy. But let's jump straight into the forecast. So starting off with the tropics, we have a lot to talk about in terms of the tropics. So this is a look at the latest GFS model run. I will take you through multiple model runs on tropical tidbits and weather belt from different models like the European model and the GFS. But first, we're really focusing on tropical storm, well now Hurricane Franklin. And then we also do have to watch the Gulf of Mexico for a potential hurricane to impact Florida. Okay, so let's pull out the model run to about Monday morning. Okay, so you're gonna see we are gonna have a tropical depression probably develop. This is likely gonna become Tropical Storm Idalia by the time it heads into the Gulf of Mexico, and I think this is gonna impact Florida and Alabama, but it's a little too early to discuss that. Um, but you'll notice Franklin out here in the Atlantic Ocean is blowing up, and by this time, it will be just about a Category 3 hurricane, which this is expected to be at a Category 3 hurricane status at its most. And then we get into Tuesday. This is where we could have Tropical Storm Idalia develop in the Gulf of Mexico. And then Franklin is going to be likely at its strongest, getting close to Bermuda, but I don't think we're going to see any terrible impacts from um, to Bermuda. Now, I do think we may have some heavy rain and gusty winds, but I don't think it's going to be very significant. But as we head out later into the week, you're going to notice that the storm in the Gulf of Mexico tries to strengthen quite a bit. And what's very important here is that the Gulf of Mexico is on fire right now. And if this takes a slower amount of time to reach Florida, which it's likely going to make landfall on Florida sometime around the last day of August to the second last day of August, this could make landfall as a tropical storm, a hurricane, maybe even a strong hurricane. Now, it all depends on how long it stays over the Gulf of Mexico. Like if it stays over and makes landfall September 1st or September 2nd, then it could be a strong hurricane, like a Category 2 or 3, which would be bad. But right now, the models are showing about August 30th to August 31st, which is good. But they're still showing it becoming at least a Category 1. So now let's head into Wednesday, August 30th, and this is in the evening hours. This is likely going to become Hurricane Idalia, and this is around 8 a.m. on the morning of August 30th. And you'll notice that there's a lot of heavy rain, and this is a big system, okay? And then you'll notice Franklin out there in the Atlantic, but this is a big system. Idalia is going to be a very big system, and even if it only makes landfall near Tallahassee, you're still going to be getting rain down there in Tampa Bay, in that area. So we definitely have to watch out for this, because if it goes up like Ian did and to the side, I know that's not the exact track of Ian, but if it goes like that and to the side, or if it goes up in there like the GFS is showing, or if it goes up into the panhandle / central and goes back out to sea like the European model is showing, there's a lot of different possibilities. So this is why we all have to be on high alert from North Carolina to eastern Texas. I'd still even be on high alert in eastern Texas too, because you could still get a little rain, okay? You could get some rain showers. And this is going to be a big system, okay? So we're going to notice that this is going to definitely dissipate as it moves over Georgia, and likely dissipate by about Thursday, August 31st. And then this might go back out to sea and may try to become something better organized, but nothing significant, probably not going to redevelop. And then as we head out into the later model runs, you'll notice that nothing actually really is happening as we head into peak hurricane season time. Now, you actually will notice we might have a little bit of snow starting to come in to Canada by late Sep- or mid September, but that's just an observation. And then let's look at the Atlantic Basin too, because there could be a lot of stuff out there right now. Now, this is all the way out at the end of the model run, okay? Showing a big hurricane. Now, don't listen to this. I don't know if this is gonna happen. This is all fantasy. So that you can see Franklin up there in the northern Atlantic, but it is showing maybe a tropical system to develop in the Caribbean on the GFS as we head into very early September. And then and a couple other tropical waves could come off of Africa and potentially develop into something. Okay, so we all need to watch this because this could be one of those hurricane seasons where something bad could potentially happen. So now we're going to take a look at what the European model is showing. So you can see this is 850 millibar cyclonic vorticity. I'm sorry, I can speak there, but you can see we have Franklin out here in the Atlantic, north of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. This is going to definitely intensify as it heads off towards the North Atlantic, and then you'll notice that we have our Invest 93L that has just come off of Mexico or the Yucatan Peninsula, and that's going to head to the Gulf of Mexico and likely make landfall on Florida. Now, as we head into later hours, this is going to intensify rapidly. Okay, this is going to probably become a hurricane. Now, it depends because the GFS model wants this to make landfall early August 30th morning. But then if we take a look at the European model, it also says August 30th in the morning, maybe a little later though, in the morning. So the European model, I think, is honestly taking it to be a little weaker, but slower, and then the GFS model faster but stronger. So this is kind of weird, but this could still become a category 1 or 2 hurricane and impact Florida. So we really have to pay attention. And I'd be on very high alert if I lived in Florida right now. Even anywhere in Florida. I don't care if you live in Pensacola, Tallahassee, Tampa Bay. You're going to get impacts from this. Even if you live in Pensacola too, you're still going to probably get a little bit of rain from this. And also, rain could be a big problem from this. Not a massive problem, but a big problem. So you can see our rainfall totals. They're going to be a little higher in South Carolina, North Carolina, I'd say. But you can see widespread good amount of rain. About I'd say for most of the areas about 1 to about 8 inches of rain at the highest. So this is going to be big. So flooding could be a big problem, especially in western Cuba and the eastern Yucatan Peninsula. And then as it goes off towards Florida, flooding will be a little less of a concern, but it will still be a concern. Now, if we go all the way out to the later model run, you can see it drops more rain out in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of North Carolina, but I think that this whole area, I'd say, has at least a 20% chance of seeing rainfall over 5 inches. So I would definitely watch out for this. Now, this could potentially shift, um, like the models could potentially shift the track into southern Florida, like Ian did, or they could keep going up, or they could go more to the west. So that's why we're going to take a look at some model comparisons right here, okay? So this is Weather Nerds. This is a very good website for a lot of this kind of stuff. So this is very good for weather, especially in tropical weather. And you can see this takes all of the lows and the tracks and puts this into an area, which gives us how we get our tracks and stuff. So let's go out um, and you'll see most of the tracks so far for what will become Tropical Storm Idalia in the Gulf of Mexico remain basically on track, not not covering a massive area, but still the entire state of Florida. So this could be pretty significant. We don't know exactly where it's going to go yet, but we know it's going to impact Florida. And then you also have this tropical wave entering the Caribbean, which could potentially develop. Then you have Invis 93L, which I'm really thinking that it's not going to develop, more of a fish storm out here. And you see Franklin. We kind of have a pretty good idea of where this is going to go. This is probably going to miss Bermuda and go out towards the northern Atlantic. Then we have another tropical wave emerging off of Africa, and this one I would keep my eye on too, okay? Now, yes, this is all the way at the end of the model run, but I would still keep my eye on this. And then we're going to go into the future and see where all the models take Idalia. So most of them take it into northern Florida. Some of them do take it into central Florida, but for the most part, I would kind of just put a massive cone of uncertainty because we're really uncertain about this because one of the models is crazy with this. One of the models is showing it going all the way out here. Okay, so I draw a big massive cone of uncertainty. I don't know where this is gonna go, but I know it's going to impact Florida and Alabama. So this would be basically my cone of uncertainty because it's gonna go somewhere and it's likely gonna go towards Florida. So we all have to be paying attention to this. Then you see Franklin, we have a pretty good idea of where that's gonna go. And then let's go towards the end of this. And let's see what the map looks like. Now it's just gonna look like a bunch of little tracks and stuff. But as we head out into the later model runs of this, it's just a mess because we're heading into peak hurricane season. Tropical wave, all these lows, everything. Like this is Franklin. Then Idalia, I think it's gonna do is I think it's gonna make landfall somewhere near Tallahassee, go back out to sea, and then go up towards Newfoundland. Now it's gonna go a lot east of Newfoundland, but it will go towards that area. That's what my prediction is. And then you still see the Caribbean that should be on very high alert. Also because yes, the Gulf of Mexico is pretty much on fire right now, but I also am worrying about the Caribbean because if anything happens and then they're taking it up like Ian did into Florida, this could be really bad. So let's also real quick take a look at our sea surface temperature anomalies and our sea surface temperature. And the Atlantic is literally on fire right now. Okay, look at the Gulf of Mexico right now. 85 to 90 degrees across most of the Gulf of Mexico. Wow, that is warm. And then also the Caribbean, 80 to 90 degrees in some places. And then even the entire Atlantic basin is hot. Like, look at this. If a hurricane can get in here, it's going to rapidly intensify and probably become a major hurricane. So you gotta watch this. And then these are our sea surface temperature anomalies. And wow, they're really high. So this is why I'm really concerned about and this is what I'm really concerned about for this hurricane season, because if we have anything in September, if we have a situation in September where we have no wind shear, not a lot of wind shear in the Gulf of Mexico or the Caribbean, and not a lot of dust coming off of Africa, this is going to be a busy hurricane season, and it's already been very busy. So this is why I'm concerned about this. Now, this was kind of like a tropical weather video, so this is why it's only focused on the tropics. We don't have a lot of severe weather to cover, so this was kind of basically a tropical update. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was probably not the best because I just haven't uploaded in a while. But thank you for coming and watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video.